Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. So welcome back to my channel, Breathe and Balance. And today we are going to talk a little bit more about healthy boundary setting. So last week we spoke about what is a boundary and why is it important to set healthy boundaries. So today let's talk a bit more about what do we need in order to set healthy boundaries. So I'm going to present you with 3 key steps here. Step number 1, awareness of who am I? So it's very important to be intimate with ourselves, first of all. Who is this being called, insert your name? For example, who is this person called Chaturi? What are her needs, her interests, her emotions, her values, worldview, even triggers? But most importantly, what makes me feel comfortable or uncomfortable, safe or unsafe? Because this is at the heart of setting a boundary. What makes me feel uncomfortable or unsafe? What are my limits? Right? And once we do that, once we really get to know who am I, we go to step number 2, which is self-love. Self-love, self-acceptance, self-worth, and self-respect. This is all a part of loving myself. So, do I really matter to myself? That's the first question that I would ask. How much do I value myself or accept myself and my needs and my emotions and all this? Am I sensitive to these needs? And do I prioritize myself? Or do I always prioritize other people? And their needs, and do I always try to take care of their emotions so that they feel better? In short, am I a people pleaser? Now, this is not to judge you at all. I myself am a recovering people pleaser. Most of us, have been conditioned with various social norms, which implies that, especially women, of course, men too, but especially women should put everybody else ahead of her, right? And prioritize everything and everyone else. And you come last, right? And that creates a lot of guilt and shame if we at all ever even want to take care of our own needs and emotions, because we feel that we are selfish, because that is what we are told. If you take care of yourself and prioritize yourself in particular, you are a selfish person. Of course, this is not true, but this is how we are conditioned, right? And let me throw a question at you. How many of you are really comfortable? Let's say you're tired and you just want to take a day off and curl up in your bed and read a book or sleep or just do nothing, just be. How many of you can actually do that or dare to do that, even want that, without judging yourself and without feeling guilty? Right? So that's the extent of how much we have been conditioned by society not to love ourselves and not to respect or value our needs and emotions, right? And now we go to the third very important step, which is courage. Courage to express yourself boldly, confidently, and authentically, right? To express your needs and your emotions and your values or whatever it is, to show up for yourself, to stand up for yourself and to speak up for yourself. This requires a lot of courage, enormous courage, especially if you are not used to setting boundaries and if you are used to being a people pleaser. Because the moment you start speaking up for yourself and setting boundaries and expressing your limits, most people will start questioning and challenging because they're not used to, this new you who's confident and who's speaking up and expressing and asserting yourself, right? So they might even say, I'm not saying everybody, of course, but some might say, even at home or at workplace, oh, you have changed. You are no longer the person you used to be. Like, you're not a good friend anymore. Or even at your workplace, your colleagues or supervisors might express their displeasure because you are not saying yes to everything anymore. And suddenly you are not a favorite person. Right, so you'll have to deal with all these changes and responses and resistances. And you'll need to stand your ground and be firm and be very assertive, which may not be very easy, especially at the beginning, especially if you are a very sensitive person and an empath, and you care about what other people think of you. And this is why step number 1 and 2 are very, very important. They are critical, they're essential, because unless you know who you truly are, what your needs, emotions, values, etc. are, and unless you have learned to really respect them and accept them, you are not going to be able to stand your ground, especially when challenged. Right. And you are going to start thinking, oh, am I right? Am I doing the right thing? And these external voices are going to start influencing you, and self-doubt will creep in and will start speaking up loudly in your head, and you will not be able to maintain your stand or your boundary. Right? You're going to wobble and shake, and you won't be in your center, basically. So just to sum up, there are 3 steps that I'm presenting here in order for you to be able to set and maintain healthy boundaries. Number 1, be aware of who you are. What are your needs, emotions, values, triggers? What makes you safe or unsafe? Number 2, self-love, self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-respect. And number 3, courage to express your truth and assert yourself. Well, I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to add a worksheet for yourself, which you can use to delve in a little bit more into yourself and reflect on your patterns and your boundaries under each of these 3 headings, which you might be able to use as journal prompts or just for some reflection, so that it will help you set healthy boundaries in your life, in any aspect of your life, or in any relationship. So really hope this was helpful for you. And till next time, have a lovely day ahead and stay centered, stay balanced. Bye for now.